So if I said to you, all I have to say to you is
Right.
either 2 words or 3 words. I don't know if the second word is 1 word, 2 words. Venus flytrap.
Venus Gerulaitis flytrap.
No, he was one of the disc jockeys, WKRP in Cincinnati. Venus.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Flytrap.
Is he the guy with the mustache and kind of like the stringy, like, you know, look a little bit like a walrus?
That was Johnny Fever, I believe.
Dude, like as you might imagine, the only thing I remember about KRP is one Lonnie Anderson. You know.
Yeah, but see, you're mistaken because I mean, look, obviously, but the sleeper there was Jan Smithers, if you recall.
Jan Smithers.
Yeah,
So she kind of like the Joyce DeWitt of Joyce DeWitt of Three's Company, kind of like really, or the Marianne of the Marianne and Ginger conversation.
She was Bailey Quarters, if you recall. She was like the office manager,
Yep.
But Venus Flytrap was one of the disc jockeys. It was a great show. I mentioned that.
Yeah, I don't know why we're talking about this.
Well, because about Anthony Bonner the other day. Frank Bonner passed away this day. He was born in February 1942, passed away. So
great show, great soundtrack. It was a great song. I wish I can't remember the lyrics to that.
WKRP in Cincinnati. Then they do the natty.
If you want to go to Cincinnati, WKRP, right? I mean, it was something like that.
It's a catchy, yeah.
It's catchy. So all right. So if I was doing my morning radio show today on WKRP in Cincinnati, I'd be pointing out that Jerome Powell quietly has turned into a Bond villain. If you're a bank or a resource stock, I mean, what happened? Meanwhile, the S&P is down 15 basis points. It's as if nothing happened on the headline, and yet certain parts of the market are getting absolutely torpedoed in a way that I think for a lot of people is confusing.
It's confused. I'll tell you right now. I mean, I'm supposed to know what's going on. It's confusing the hell out of me. I mean, rates yesterday went from 1.8 in the 10-year to 157, right back down today. So effectively, rates haven't moved in 24 hours, although they've moved considerably up and down. Resource trades are getting taken out to the woodshed. The dollar is rallied. You talk about the importance of the dollar all the time. I mean, that to me is the headline here. I don't know what exactly they said, but the dollar sure seemed to like it.
Well, I think the Fed fired that shot across the bow. I think the Fed regained some credibility yesterday, so much so that they're going to like how that feels, and they now can be a lot more aggressive. And I at a time when we're seeing major league pitchers dropping like flies because apparently they can't put substances on the ball and get a particular spin rate. I mean, the ultimate spin doctor is Jerome. By the way, Pocketful of Kryptonite was a great tune, and it wasn't. It was also the Jimmy Olsen's Blues, I believe, was Little Miss Can't Be Wrong. But I also don't know why Garrett Cole was effectively crying on behalf of my boy Tyler Glasnow, who was so Tyler Glasnow and Jake DeGrom were my twin towers of aces on my roto team. If I don't show up for Fast Money tonight, check the Brooklyn Bridge where I may have jumped, because
Glasnow's on the shelf, right? So we know he's done, and we're still, Met fans are obviously all waiting. Last night at Shea, I mean, the first 3 innings, trick is it's been there since the Halcyon Seaver, and then Jake doesn't come out for the 4th, and I think a lot of people.
I know you're upset, but not as upset as Garrett Cole was. Was he crying? Was he crying last night, Guy? Because there's no crying in press conferences talking about your spin rate, and that pitchers are actually getting injured because they can't use the same substance on the ball. Are you buying that?
You're getting mad at me. I haven't been on the Hill in quite some time, so I'm not the villain here.
You threw some nasty stuff though, bro, and I'm guessing if in fact called out on it, you wouldn't come up with excuses, and I don't think we'd be having this conversation with you. So look, I think Garrett Cole is a great pitcher. The fact that I think I saw him misting up in tier, he went for Meal. He went Vermeil on us last night. That's right, Dick Vermeil, who cried at every single press conference he could. And I'm going to leave this with people that are investing in banks are crying right now as well. And I got to tell you, man, I think it's a whole lot of nothing, man. I'm buying this weakness in the banks. So there's your Vermeil.
I like what you did there. I want to know your favorite boss jock. This is for the fans at home from WKRP. And, you know, in the Marianne Ginger debate, I think the Bailey Quarters, Lonnie Anderson debate is strong.
So look, man, this is not even a question about the two best DJs in the country are Roger and JP at WBAB. They've been on commercial break. These guys know what they're doing. Like Roger, I grew up on the radio, man. That dude's been spinning the tunes I've wanted to hear forever. So none of this fictional shock jock crap, and not the Grease man from back in
DC 101 days.
DC 101. Grease got himself in a little trouble. But Roger and JP, guys, BAB, love what you're doing. You know that. Guy, I'll see you tomorrow.